The silence before. The Aurelius drifted in the amber light of Kepler 442, its hull reflecting the slow pulse of a star that had burned for 6 billion years before humanity ever looked up and wondered. Commander Elias Voss stood at the observation bay, hands clasped behind his back, watching the alien vessel with the careful stillness of a man who understood that history was being written in real time. The Veil ship was enormous. A cathedral of pale silver geometry, all sweeping arcs and tessellated panels that caught starlight and broke it into colors that had no names in any human language. It had appeared 4 days ago, matching the Aurelius in orbit without aggression, without weapons fire, without anything except a low, melodic signal that the linguistics team had spent 72 sleepless hours decoding into something resembling a greeting. We have traveled far. We come without hunger. Elias had read those words so many times they had stopped feeling like translation and started feeling like memory. Behind him, xenobiologist Dr. Mara Okafor pulled up the latest waveform data on her tablet. "They're broadcasting again," she said quietly. "Same harmonic structure. They're waiting for us to answer." "Then let's answer," Elias said. The bridge. The response they sent was simple, a mathematical sequence followed by the recorded sound of rainfall on Earth, a gesture of peace that the linguistics team had suggested carried emotional resonance across biology. The Veil replied within minutes, a slow cascade of tones, and then, astonishingly, a visual feed. On the main screen appeared a Veil for the first time in full detail. It was tall and thin, with 4 arms folded in a posture that the team cautiously agreed looked like deference. Its face was broad, eyeless, with sensory filaments that moved like the fronds of a sea anemone in slow current. It was breathtaking and alien and, somehow, unmistakably gentle. Mara pressed her hand flat against the console as if steadying herself against the weight of the moment. "They're smiling," she whispered. "I think. That ripple in the filaments, I think that's a smile." Elias nodded slowly. "Open a full 2-way channel. And tell engineering to stand down all defensive systems. Every single one." The crew exchanged glances. Someone at the back of the bridge exhaled. The channel opened. The unraveling. They had been talking, or something close enough to talking that it felt holy, for 11 minutes when the gravitational sensors screamed. The INS Dominion decloaked off the starboard quarter like a wound opening in space. A Terran warship, Predator class, its silhouette all brutal angles and weapon arrays, its running lights the cold red of an authority that answered to no diplomatic corps and no treaty. It had been there the entire time, cloaked, watching, waiting. Elias felt the blood drain from his face. The Veil ship went silent. On the view screen, the alien's filaments collapsed flat against its skull, a gesture that needed no translation. "Dominion, this is Commander Voss aboard the Aurelius, stand down immediately. We are in the middle of a first contact protocol." Protocol superseded. The voice on the channel was flat and official, the voice of a man who had signed papers. "Admiral Crane, INS Dominion. The Veil have been identified as a Class 7 territorial threat under the Kepler Expansion Directive. We are taking defensive positioning. They are not a threat." Mara stepped forward, her voice cracking open. "They said we come without hunger, they've had weapons range on us for 4 days and haven't fired once." "They have weapons range," Crane replied, "which is reason enough." The weight of one voice. Elias did not hesitate. He crossed the bridge in 4 steps and opened a direct channel to the Veil ship, raw, unfiltered, bypassing protocol entirely. "I am speaking to you alone," he said. "What you see behind us, that was not our answer to your greeting. That is our fear. We carry it with us like a sickness, across every star we touch." The filaments of the Veil ambassador stirred slowly. "We have a word," the translation came, halting but clear, "for a species that is young enough to still be afraid. The word is not an insult." Elias closed his eyes. "What is the word?" A long pause. Stars burned in the silence. Becoming, the Veil said. On the sensor display, the Dominion held its position. The Veil ship held its own. And in the space between two civilizations, a single word hung like a lit candle in absolute dark, fragile, possible, and not yet extinguished.